What happened to your homework?
It is the drawing Viking,
Okay,
but
we're
I doesn't draw.
what? No. Look, I was also busy, but look. See? Can you see my drawing?
Yes.
Yes. I drew a Viking. And I just did that 2 hours ago.
Yes.
How come you did not do your homework?
Because I'm very busy.
You're very busy or you don't want to draw? Which one is true?
I'm very busy.
Is that true?
Yes.
If you're very busy, tell me some of the things that you did yesterday.
Yesterday no Sunday. Sunday in
Yes.
the morning I study. I study. I study. I study IT. And in the afternoon, I am studying lit. Then I am go home and study math.
Uh,
Then in the evening, I study. I do my work in the school. It is very long.
oh, okay. Okay, so you're forgiven because you said that your homework for your school is very long.
Yes.
Very long. Okay, but I hope next time you'll do your homework, okay? Because here, look, I made a drawing.
But I don't have a blood band. I
You
don't
don't
have a
have.
blood band.
Okay, you don't have. Well, you can use pencil.
But
You can use pencil on marker, okay?
but so
Or pencil. Pencil is okay.
yes.
Okay.
It's very hard. I draw it very bad.
Did you try? Did you try to draw?
What?
Did you try to draw the Viking?
No.
Oh, okay. That's why it was hard because you didn't even try to draw. If you just try to draw, eventually you can you can make a good drawing. I actually did the drawing twice because the first one was very bad and then the second one was okay. So for the third one, this is my third attempt. See, it's not bad. Looks like biking. Okay, so anyway, I'll just give you another homework later. But
Yeah.
for now, let's just start with our lesson. So here, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Can you read the title?
Clever baby.
Yes, a clever baby. Okay. But anyway, we will not talk about babies. What we will talk about is a grandma and grandpa. Do you have grandma and grandpa?
Yes.
Okay. So we will talk about that later. And we will continue talking about the be verbs and have. Okay?
Yes.
And how to use this in affirmative and negative sentences. So to start. So this is grandpa, this is grandma, and this is baby.
Yeah.
Anyway, to start our lesson, Let's have a warm up video. So play
Yeah.
the video, and if you have pen and paper with you, just take note of the words, okay? So here,
Yes.
I'll play it now.
Maple Leaf Learning. Talking flashcards. Adjectives. Here we go. Little. Little. It is little. Big. Big. It is big. Long. Long. It is long. Short. Short. It is short. Tall. Tall. It is tall. Short. Short. It is short. Young. Young. He is young. Old. Old. He is old. Pretty. Pretty. She is pretty. Ugly. Ugly. She is ugly. Strong. Strong.
Uh-huh.
She is strong. Weak. Weak. He is weak. Dirty. Dirty. He is dirty. Clean. Clean. She is clean. Slow. Slow. It is slow. Fast. Fast. It is fast. Wow. See you next time.
Did you take note of the words?
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell me uh, what are the words that you just take note? Okay, so these those words, those are adjectives.
Yes.
Okay, but before that, can you tell me what adjective is? What is the purpose of adjectives?
The little
Yes.
weak,
Okay, weak. Okay, that's correct.
weak,
Do you have two?
long, long, short,
Short.
short, short, short,
Yes, short.
short, short,
What else?
young, old, old, pretty,
Okay.
uh, ugly,
Okay.
and strong, weak, dirty, clean, slow, fast.
Okay, very good. So those are what we call adjectives. Okay.
Yeah.
What is the purpose of adjective? Why do we need adjectives?
What?
What is the purpose of adjectives?
Adjective is
It is
it is so long and
okay. Okay, why do we need that words? What's
beautiful.
yes, what's the use of adjectives?
Hmm. What they do? Adjective.
Yes. Adjective is used to what? To it's to describe a noun or to describe a word. Okay?
Yes.
Like, okay, I will give you a noun. Um, I- We have grandpa. Okay, grandpa. So grandpa is old. Okay, so that's the purpose of adjective. It describes that grandpa is old. Okay,
Yes.
or grand
Oh.
yes, or grandpa is kind. Okay, so, so okay, so kind is the adjectives.
Yes.
So it tells us about grandpa. What is grandpa? Okay, so grandpa is kind or grandpa is old. So this is the use of adjective.
Yes.
Okay, so I will send you the meaning here.
Yes.
Okay, so it describes other words. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the purpose of adjectives. That's the
Yeah.
work of adjectives. Okay. Okay, so very good. Okay, so now let's go to the next slide because we're done with watching the video and you have identified the adjectives. So
Yes.
here, let's read a comic. Okay. Okay. Can you read this for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Look, Amy, we got some old photos. This is Jack when he was young. I'm still young. Wow, he was handsome then. I'm still handsome. Look, that is Grandma when she was young. Wow, Grandma was pretty. I think Grandma is still pretty. Look at the photo of Grandpa. Wow, he had black hair when he was young. Yes, I got white hair now. And this photo is of Matt when he was a baby. Look, he had a book then too. He isn't different at all.
Okay, very good. A very good way of reading. So tell me, can you tell me the words that is an adjectives?
Yes,
Identify the words here, which is an adjective.
yes. Actually, adjective. He, young,
Yes, okay, that's correct. Young.
pretty,
Yes, pretty.
uh,
So we have young and
handsome.
pretty. Okay, handsome. So you have three adjectives. What else?
Hmm, I don't know. I
So
don't.
here. Okay. This
Oh,
old. Yes. Old describes photo. Old photos. Okay, so and also uh, black hair and white hair. So it tells us about the color of the hair. So the hair is black and the hair is white. So black and white, these also act as an adjectives.
yeah.
Okay, so do you understand now what is an adjective?
What adjective?
Okay. Adjective is again it describe a word.
Destroy.
Yes, like this. Old it describes photo. And
Yeah.
pretty. Pretty it describes grandma. Grandma, pretty.
Yes.
Pretty grandma. And
Yeah.
was, we used was because of the past tense. Okay.
Yeah.
Now here, let's learn more how to use was. wasn't, and were.
Yeah.
For pronoun I, he, she, and it, okay, we
Yeah.
should always use was or wasn't. Okay, so hi, he, she, it, plus was or wasn't. But for you, we,
We
they. So the
were.
yes, we use where. Where for affirmative or positive sentences, for
Yeah.
affirmative, and weren't for negative.
Yeah.
Okay. But here for I, you, he, she, it, we, they, we all use had.
Yeah.
And talking about past tense, we used had. But if the sentence is negative, we uh, we won't say hadn't. Okay, not hadn't, but here didn't have. So that is how we use had for past tense for affirmative sentences. But for negative, didn't have. Okay, not hadn't. That's
Yeah.
wrong. But didn't have. Okay. Because for was, it's very easy. For negative was, it becomes wasn't. For were, it becomes weren't.
Yeah.
Okay. So now can you read these examples? How to use was, wasn't, were, weren't, and had, didn't have. So,
Yeah.
okay. So
Hmm.
start here.
He, what
Okay. Read.
S?
He. Can you read here? He
He
was.
was handsome then. I wasn't tall when I was 5. We were happy on holiday. You weren't sick when you were sick.
Okay. This. He had.
He had black hair when he was young. You didn't have a bob when you were a baby.
Okay. Very good. Okay. But first, let's practice this word. How do you say that?
Sigh.
Again?
Sigh.
Okay, not sigh, but shy.
Shy. Shy.
Yes, sha, like sha, sha, and then
Shy.
at I,
Shy.
shy. Okay,
Shy.
how
Shy.
about this number?
She. Sick.
Six,
Sick. Sick.
six,
Sick.
six.
Six. Six.
Okay, very good. Six. Okay, shy and six.
Shy.
Six. Okay,
Six.
shy and six. Okay, good job. So now that we've learned how to use was and wasn't, were, weren't, had, and didn't have, let's practice. Okay,
Yeah.
let's practice your grammar.
Yes.
So for here, read and circle. So read each sentences and choose which is the correct form of verb. Okay,
Yeah.
like okay, so remember for day, we use were for affirmative, weren't for negative. So look at the
Yes.
photos here.
Yes.
Okay. So
It was sunny.
okay. So was okay. It was sunny. We can see the sun from the photo. Number three.
The sea wasn't hot.
Okay. Yes, it wasn't hot. Okay. Because he feels cold. He's shivering. Number four.
The children weren't hungry.
The children weren't hungry. Okay. But I think they're hungry. Okay, but they have food. So they weren't hungry because they are
The
already
baby.
They were eating.
He isn't it food?
The
No, no, no.
baby?
Were.
Okay,
Chill.
was. The baby, what's your answer here?
The baby was happy. The children were hungry.
Okay, number 6.
Uh, the sandwiches weren't small.
Okay, because they're big. They were big. Okay, very good. So, here. So, we are done with were and weren't, and was and wasn't. So, let's go to had and didn't have.
Yes.
Okay, here. So, for first photo, the answer is given. They had pizza for lunch last Sunday. How about second photo?
The boys had a party last weekend.
Okay, very good. Had. Okay. Third photo, number
They
3.
didn't have a guitar lesson yesterday.
Okay, didn't have. Okay, how about you? Did you have guitar lesson yesterday?
No.
Okay. When did you had your lesson? Saturday? Did you had a lesson?
Yes.
Okay. So number 3. I mean number 4. Fourth photo.
For the girls had a picnic last Sunday.
Okay, yes, they had a picnic. Okay, good job. Okay, so this is very easy for you, you see? So let's go to the next slide. Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you know how to use had, didn't have, was and were, let's practice. Okay, so look at the photo. So look at the photo here. First,
Uh,
we will talk about long hair.
yes.
Yeah, so 8 years ago, she had long hair.
Long hair.
Okay, how about 2 years ago?
2 years ago,
She,
she is short. She is short.
okay, this is your answer, okay? She is short, okay? But we are talking here
eight
about
years
long
ago.
hair.
Years old. 8 years
Years
old.
ago, she,
She is tall.
we are still talking about long hair, okay? So 8 years ago, here, she had long hair. So she had long hair.
She had she had long hair.
Yes. If the
She
sentence is
is
negative,
short. She short. 2 years ago. 2 years.
no, we're
So
not she short, okay? Your answer is she short 2 years ago. This is wrong. It should be, we're talking about
she
hair.
draw. She eh, she had short 2 years.
Okay, okay, let's go back. Had, this is for affirmative sentence. Had. For negative, we use didn't have. Okay?
Yeah.
So here, she. Her hair is not long, so she didn't.
Didn't have long hair.
Okay,
Didn't.
yes. Have long hair. Okay, that's correct. So now let's go to short hair. Okay, I'll just delete that. Let's talk about short hair. Okay. Okay, so let's start with this photo. She
She she saw she she have something.
Okay, yes, she had short hair. That's correct. How about for this photo?
Not long. She
She,
didn't have but
she didn't have short hair. Okay, so we're done with hair. How about short and tall? Okay, so here. She, okay, this is not about
she
hair, okay? No more about hair.
she she
She,
e so
what should we use
so
here? She,
at she
or, okay, I will give you a clue. We will use was. Should we use was or were?
she was
Yes, she was short. That's correct. How about this? She,
she wasn't so
okay, she wasn't short. Okay, good. How about tall?
tall.
Yes, we will talk about uh, tall.
She was she wasn't tall.
Okay, she wasn't tall. Very good. How about this photo?
She was tall.
She was tall. Okay, very good. Now you're giving your answer very fast. That's good. Okay, so let's go to shy. Shy. First photo, she. Look at her.
Shy.
Is she shy?
Yes.
Okay, so she
She was
was.
shy.
How about here? For the second.
She wasn't shy.
Okay, she wasn't shy. Good job. And last one. Friendly. Okay? Friendly. Friendly. Okay, this is a person who likes talking to friends. First photo. What can you say?
She friendly. She wasn't friendly.
Yes, she wasn't friendly. Okay. She wasn't friendly. Okay. And for the second photo?
She was friendly.
Yes, she was friendly. Okay, very good. So you got all the answers correct. Okay, good job.
Mm.
So your speaking skills is improving. Very good. So here we will test your listening skills. Okay, so I will play an audio. Take
Yeah.
note of the answers after. Okay, so and we will click which answer is correct or which photo is correct. So here,
Yes.
listen to an
Listening
audio.
103. Listen and tick. Number 1.
Is this a photo of you when you were a boy, Grandpa?
Yes, it is.
Wow, you were good looking.
Thank you. I had brown hair then. My hair is white now.
Number 2.
Here's a picture of you on your bike.
Oh, yes, I had a bike when I was a boy.
It was a great bike.
Yes, it was. My bike was blue. My sister had a bike too. My sister's bike was red.
Number 3.
Oh, look. Is this a photo of your house?
Yes, it is. This was my house when I was a boy.
It's very nice.
Yes, it was very small, but it was very nice.
Number 4.
I like your photos, Grandpa. You had lots of fun when you were a boy.
Yes, they were good days. I was very cheerful then.
You're cheerful now, too.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So I think you're ready to give your answer. So for first photo, he had brown hair. Okay, so this is the picture that we should click. How about for number 2?
He had blue bike.
Okay, he had blue bag. Very good. This is correct. Um, photo number 3.
He had small house.
Okay, he had a small house. Okay. And number 4.
He is useful.
Okay.
Useful.
Uh, he was. Okay. We will use was. He was cheerful. Okay, so he was cheerful. Okay. Okay, so very good. Okay, so let's go to the next slide now. Because
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, because I'm very excited for the story part. So let's make this fast. So here, read. So read. This is a letter about her grandma. Can you read the letter? Yes.
Yeah.
Read this letter, okay? After reading, we will answer these questions with true or false. Okay. First, here, read the letter. Okay, I will make it a little bigger. Okay, can you see it clearly?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
When my grandma was a girl, her eyes were bright and blue. Her face was pretty too. In this photo, I can see what grandma was like then. Grandma was a lot like me when she was only 10. Grandma had her wedding day when she was 22. She was a very pretty bride. The groom was handsome too. That young groom, my grandpa announced. Next, next, they had a baby boy. That baby was my dad. Now my grandma's 70. Her hair is soft and gray. She's very cheerful all the time. She's happy every day. She's very nice and generous. I think that you can see I love my grandpa ma very much, and I know that she loves me.
Okay, very good. Okay. From what you read, are there words that are not familiar with you? Words that you don't understand the meaning.
Mm,
How
yeah,
about this? Generous. Do you know
generous, generous.
do you know
Yes,
that word?
that's
If you are a generous person, what do you do?
it
You always, if you're a generous person, you always what? Or a generous person always here.
I'm I mean
You know the meaning, but you can say it. Are you a generous person?
uh,
Do you consider yourself generous?
me I
Yes. Are you generous? Okay. Oh, you're not. If I ask you, can you give me your magazine? Will you give me your magazine if I ask you? Mean, can I have your magazine? Can I bring it home?
yeah. No,
No.
I am generous.
Yes, no, you're not generous because a generous person is someone
I'm generous.
who always who likes giving.
Yeah.
Yes, and who always help who likes giving. Okay. Okay. But I'll just write here anyway. Person who likes helping and giving. Okay. So you're not generous. You don't want to give me your comics. I want the Doraemon.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this is just
Money.
again. Okay. So here. You know all the words here. So you understand what you read very much. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Let's see if you really did understand what you read. So, question number one. Grandma had a short hair when she was a girl. Is this true or false?
Phone
False? Okay, false. Tell me why this is false.
because she had a long hair.
Yes, because she had a long hair. Very good. You used the word had correctly. Okay. Number two, grandma was pretty when she was a girl.
Mm, True.
It's true. Number three, grandma is 60.
Bro.
Okay. How old is grandma?
Uh, 70.
Yes, 70. Okay. Grandma is sometimes miserable. Do you know this word?
The
What's the opposite word of miserable?
uh,
Or what is can you can you tell me another words that is close to miserable?
what?
So what's the meaning of this word miserable?
Mr. Boy. I can.
Are you happy if you're miserable? Are you happy if you are miserable? Do you think you're happy?
No.
Okay. Are you a miserable person? No, you're not miserable. So miserable means unhappy and always angry. always angry. That is miserable. Okay. So, do you think grandma is a miserable person?
I think yes.
Yes.
No, no, no.
Okay. No, she's very happy and generous. Okay. So this should be false. How about this? Grandma is never generous.
Mm,
Is it true or false?
it is false.
False. Okay, because she
She is general.
generous. Okay. Number 6. Grandma has gray hair now.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it's true. Okay, very good. Now we're done with this. So it means it's time for Little Red Riding Hood.
Yes.
I'm very excited because we will watch a story. Do you like stories?
Yes.
Okay. But let me just remind you to watch it and understand the story because later on you will retell the story. Okay?
Uh,
So you will tell me what the story is about. Okay? So here, let's watch it now. Can you hear it?
yes, I can.
Once upon a time, there lived a little girl. This girl wore a red riding hood at all times. That's why everybody used to call her Little Red Riding Hood. Darling! Yes, Mummy? You know your grandmother is ill. Would you take her the cookies I baked and the fresh herbs I picked from the woods? Of course, Mummy, I will. The little girl, with her Red Riding Hood as always, started her journey to her grandmother's house. Do not leave the road in the bunny forest, sweetheart, said her mother as she was leaving. Little Red Riding Hood started walking in the forest while joyously singing songs. I wonder why they call it the bunny forest. I haven't seen any bunnies along the way. Little Red Riding Hood came to a road filled with flowers. There were all kinds of colored flowers. I should pick some flowers for my grandmother. She'll be very pleased. While Little Red Riding Hood was picking the flowers, she did not realize that she was drifting away from her path. At that moment, she heard a sound coming from the bushes. Suddenly, a big bad wolf approached in front of her. Little Red Riding Hood was so scared that when she saw the wolf right in front of her eyes, she dropped the basket that she was carrying. The wolf jumped closer to her and collected the cookies she had dropped from the basket and gave them back to Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood was amazed by this unexpected gesture from the wolf. Thank you.
Where are you heading, little girl?
To my grandmother's house, the yellow house at the end of this forest. She is not feeling well, so I'm bringing her cookies and healthy herbs.
Really?
By the way, you can call me Little Red Riding Hood like everybody else does.
I'll head on first and let your grandmother know that you're on your way so that you can continue picking up your beautiful flowers.
Right at that moment, he heard a gunshot of an approaching hunter's rifle and ran away as fast as he could. Little Red Riding Hood looked around for a moment and started crying, realizing that she was lost. Hearing her crying, the hunter approached and came next to her.
you doing alone here, little girl? It's very dangerous around here. I'm looking for a big bad wolf whom I've been hunting for a very long time.
Little Hood was very ashamed because she had not listened to her mother and left the road in the bunny forest. So she told the hunter that she had met the wolf. Well, I was bringing cookies to my ill grandmother living at the end of the forest and I got lost.
Let me bring you to your grandma's home then.
To walk together. And right then, the wolf took a shortcut and quickly made it to the grandmother's house. He knocked on the door. The grandmother yelled from inside, "Who is it?" The wolf changing his voice.
It's me, Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood. I brought you cookies and fresh herbs from the woods.
The door is open, my dear. You can come in. The wolf smirked and stormed in through the open door. When a while later, Little Red Riding Hood and the hunter arrived at the grandmother's house.
Go on, little girl. Go on next, grandmother, as soon as possible.
The hunter went back on his way. Little Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. Her grandmother yelled from inside.
Who is it?
It's me, Grandma, Little Red Riding Hood.
The door is open, my darling. You can come in.
Little Red Riding Hood hesitated for a moment, because the sound she heard did sound a little different than her grandmother. She then remembered that her grandmother was ill. Well, grandmother probably sounds like that because she is ill. Little Riding Hood opened the door and went in. The wolf, dressed in grandmother's clothing, with her nightcap and her glasses, was lying in the bed. He also closed the drapes so that it became dark inside, and Little Red Riding Hood could not recognize him.
I thank you, darling, for all your trouble getting all the way here to bring me food. Come next to me so I can give you a hug. Come, my darling. Come closer.
Little Red Riding Hood left the basket on the floor, but she did not get too close to the bed, because her grandma looked different. Why are your arms so long, Grandma?
So that I can hug you better.
Why are your ears so big?
So that I can hear you better.
But why are your eyes so huge?
So that I can see you better.
Why are your teeth so sharp, Grandmother?
So that I can eat you better.
The wolf jumped out of the bed and charged at the Little Red Riding Hood. At that moment, Little Red Riding Hood realized that it wasn't her grandmother lying in the bed, but instead the big bad wolf she had ran into along the way. Help me! The hunter heard Little Red Riding Hood scream, "Help! Help me!" and ran straight to the house, stormed into the open door and caught the wolf immediately.
I finally got you, big bad wolf. Now you're in my hands.
The hunter cut the wolf's belly and rescued the grandmother. Thank you for saving us, Mr. Hunter.
You're welcome. But promise me, little girl, that you will never forget what your mother asks of you.
With great appetite, Grandmother ate all the cookies Little Red Riding Hood had brought for her, boiled the healthy herbs to make a cup of tea, and instantly got well. Little Red Riding Hood promised her grandmother that she will never ever fall into the words of a bad wolf again. Little Red Riding Hood was walking in the forest once again, singing along merrily, as she ran into the same wolf again. The wolf was punished by the hunter to clean the forest, and he was very ashamed about what he did when he saw the Little Red Riding Hood. The bunny forest became full of joy, bunnies and flowers like it was once before.
Okay, so now let's answer these questions. So, for question number one, how is Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother?
Hmm.
She was?
She was ill.
Yes, she was ill. Okay, very good. So this is the correct answer. She was ill. For question number two, what is in the basket?
Apples.
Hmm? There were?
Cookie.
Yes, there were cookies. Okay. How about number three? What is the name of the forest? Can you
Hmm.
remember?
The bunny.
Yeah, okay, very good. The bunny forest. Number four. Who scared Little Red Riding Hood in the forest?
The big bad wolf.
Okay, the big bad wolf. Okay, so it was the big bad wolf. Okay, number five. Who helped Little Red Riding Hood when she was lost?
The hunter.
Yes, it was the hunter who helped her. Where was the big bad wolf in grandmother's house?
In the bed.
Okay, he was in the
In the,
bed. Yes, he's pretending that he's the grandmother. What was the advice the hunter gave to Little Red Riding Hood?
uh, take candy frosting. Or never forget what her mother said.
Okay, yes, that's right. Never forget what her mother said. Okay, because her mother told her to stay on the
Yeah.
bunny forest.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So, because you answered these questions correctly, it means that you understand very well the story. So now that I know you that you understand the story, it's your turn to retell the story. Just a
Hmm?
summary of the story. Yes, tell me about the story. Just the things that you remember. Not the whole story, but just the summary. Do you know, do you understand this word, summary?
Summary.
Have you heard
Summary story.
like yes, like the short version? That's the summary. The shortest version you can make out of the story. Okay, so now tell me about the story. What was the story about?
Hmm. Hmm.
Let's start with the
The one. Hmm.
okay. Who was the main character of the story?
Hmm.
What was
One.
her name?
Rupa. her name Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay. She was Little Red Riding Hood. Okay.
Yes.
It's yes, that's right. So Little Red Riding Hood, she was asked by her mother to go where?
I, everybody used to call her Little Red Riding Hood.
Okay, to go to which house?
Um, mm, wait, once one say, you know your grandmother if you get her the cookie I bake the bread I pick it from the wood. And I don't remember delivery.
You don't remember? Okay. Okay. So she was going to, you're
My
right, she was
grandpa
going to her grandmother's house because her grandmother feels
just go
she was
to
ill. She was sick.
yes.
And then her mother gave her basket. What was inside the basket again?
Okay.
Yes, cookies
Okay.
and herbs.
Yes.
Yes, cookies and herbs. Okay. Okay. So, what did her mother told, or what did she told Red Riding Hood? To stay in the
Stay
bunny forest. Forest.
forest. Yeah.
Did she follow her mother's advice? Did she follow the advice of of her mother?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, or
Yeah.
did she or she didn't?
She, she didn't see her to see.
She went picking flowers.
Yes.
Yes. And then she met someone. Who was it? Or what was it? She met the
Made the work.
Yeah, she met the wolf. Did the wolf harm Little Red Riding Hood?
What?
When they met in the forest, what did the wolf do?
They say, what do you do?
She asked about, I mean, the wolf asked Little Red Riding Hood about her grandmother's house. Okay. So she asked Little Red Riding Hood where she was going so he can go to the grandmother's house. Okay. Okay. So when Little Red Riding Hood arrived at her grandmother's house, what did she notice
What?
about the voice of her grandmother? Her grandmother's voice was? It was different. Okay. How about her grandmother's arms? What happened to her grandmother's arms?
My grandmother
It
um, work it.
okay, it. So when Little Red Riding Hood entered the room, she said, "Grandmother, what happened to your arms? Why is it long?"
Yes.
Yes, because her grandmother's arm was long. And how about the ears? What did she notice? The ears
Was was
big.
yes.
Yes. And also her. eyes is big, and also the teeth. And then when she asked about the teeth, why is your teeth so sharp, grandmother? That's when the time when the wolf said, so I can eat you better. But then
Why?
he didn't he didn't had time or had a chance to eat Little Red Riding Hood because someone arrived. Someone helped her. Who was that person?
Was
It it who helped who helped Little Red Riding Hood?
the hunter.
Yes, the hunter. Okay, very good. So the hunter helped her and she told the Little Red Riding Hood to always listen to her mother's advice,
Yes.
which she did when she was returning home.
Yeah.
Okay, so so that was the story about. Okay, okay. So I think we're done with our lesson,
Yes.
but you have to improve. Just an advice: you have to improve your uh, your skill to retell a story.
Yes.
So anyway, here let's talk about we what are the lessons that we discussed. So let's do a
Wrap up.
wrap up or summary of our discussion. So for I, he, she, and it, what do we use for I, he, I, she,
She,
he, he, it? We will use
was.
okay was very good. And for you, we, and they, we will use
Was. Mm.
for you, we, and they.
Were.
So this is was or wasn't. Were and
Weren't.
weren't. Okay, very good. So, okay, so this is correct. Okay, so remember this pattern. Okay. Now for I, you, he, she, it, we, they. We use had and what's the negative form of had? So this is for affirmative sentence. Should we use hadn't?
I had didn't
And
have
and
didn't have didn't have
didn't have. Sorry. Had and
didn't
didn't
have
have. Okay. Didn't have. Okay, very good. So these are the uh, the the lessons that we discussed for tonight. Okay, so remember those pattern, and also we talk about Little Red Riding Hood. Okay,
and didn't
we talk about the story and your ability to make a summary of the story. It was very good, but you have to improve. Okay, you have to improve your speaking skills. Don't don't be shy to speak. It's okay if you have very limited word, so that's okay because we are just practicing your speaking skills. Okay, so it's okay if your grammar is not correct because I just want to know if you understand the story, if you have the skill or the ability to retell a story. So next time that we have an activity as the same as this, you have to do your best to retell the story, okay? Even if it's very hard.
No.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, that would be all for tonight. No homework. Do you
Yes.
like that? No homework? No homework. Or would you like to continue your Viking drawing?
Yes.
So tomorrow I want to see your Viking, okay?
Yes.
So
I
I want
draw it very bad.
it's okay if it's okay if it's bad. I just want to see your drawing. Like this.
Yes.
I made this 3 times. First and second drawing was very bad. Until I achieved my goal. So anyway, look at what I'm eating. Do you have this? Do you have this food in Vietnam? Here. It's it's a
No.
junk it's a junk food and it's very delicious. Okay, so for your homework, continue your Viking drawing
Yes.
and we will have a very short or very easy test. The content of our test is about the things that we discussed before. So don't worry about it. Okay. But I will include uh, how to retell a story in our test on, on Wednesday. Okay. So I think
Yes.
that would be all for tonight, Mean. So thank you so much for your time
Yes.
and continue your Viking homework. And on Wednesday, we will have a test. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. Good night and see you on Wednesday. Bye, Mean.
Yes.
Good night.